Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another broadcast. Today I want to talk about The Amazing Spider-Man number 20, which ties into Marvel's fall event, The Clone Conspiracy. For those who haven't been following Dan Slott's run on the title, Dr. Octopus's consciousness was forced out of the living brain and back into one of his Octobots from the future. This issue, which takes place after the events of Dead No More Clone Conspiracy number 1, tells readers how he got his body back. Long story short, Doc Ock went to his grave and found it empty. After he and his AI version of Anna Maria Marconi did some investigating, they figured out that a shady individual or individuals who specialize in raiding the tomb of dead supervillains made off with his body, and that Miles Warden, aka the Jackal, was also up to his old tricks. Doc Ock's mind essentially tapped into the internet, made a fake deal for the Jackal to buy his corpse, and then infiltrated New U. Once inside New U, Doc Ock found Jackal's clones and realized that his corpse was going to be reanimated with another person's brainwaves inside. Guess who it was? That's right, the original Peter Parker. Otto concludes that a Peter Parker memory fragment made it back into his body during Amazing Spider-Man number 700, and that the real Peter died. The two men fight again, and Doc Ock kills Peter for a third time. Confused? Let's recap. Peter died in Amazing Spider-Man number 700 when he went out like a punk. Then Ghost Peter, or Memory Fragment Peter, or whatever you want to call him, died during Superior Spider-Man number 9. And now, original Peter Parker died again at the hands of Doc Ock. I wouldn't be surprised if this is switched up yet again, because, like I said, he went out like a punk for the third time. It's almost like Dan Slott is the guy from Office Space who bragged about giving women his O-face, only Dan Slott gets an O-face by killing Peter Parker. Hey, my name's Dan Slott and I killed Peter Parker again. Oh. It's kind of weird. Anyway, the issue ends exactly where the first installment of Clone Conspiracy finished, i.e. with a memory fragment Peter Parker up against the wall after realizing his enemy is alive again. Personally, I think Dan Slott in many ways is replicating one of the worst mistakes of the Clone Saga, which was to break trust with the reader. People don't like to be jerked around with the main character. They don't want to feel as though the Peter Parker they've been reading about for weeks or months or years is somehow a fake or a copy or a clone or a memory fragment. It's one thing to do that with supporting cast members, but it's a whole different can of clones to do that with a main character. It's one step removed from ending a story, and then I woke up. It makes the reader feel as though they've wasted time, and it's just a place that authors probably shouldn't want to go to. If I had any faith that memory fragments or clones or consciousness as a whole were going to be addressed or clarified by the end of Dead No More, the Clone Conspiracy, then I'd be more willing to forgive this sort of thing. But history has shown that things are going to get very sloppy, or should I say slotty, over the next few months. So as of now, I'd probably just hold off on jumping aboard. Doc Ock is back in his old body, which is nice, but if you're a Peter Parker fan, it probably isn't worth it. He's been killed again in a fashion unbecoming a hero of his stature, so I deny Dan Slott the gut punch hat trick. With that said, I'd like to hear what you have to say. Did you enjoy The Amazing Spider-Man number 20? Did Peter Parker go out like a punk, or do you think he went out with dignity? Let me know in the comments section below, and be sure to check out my other comic book reviews at douglasernstblog.com. See you next time.